Hello everybody, I am Tom and you were watching me play Disco Elysium. So in the last episode I teleported to the roof, which, according to Kim, I just climbed the ladder with my eyes closed, but I teleported. Alright, so now we've got up into this roof so we can go down into the basement and see if we can find this Ruby girl. I may want to equip a torch, now I think about it. Seems like a smart option. Postcard of Martinet in 98. A faded picture postcard from the end of the last century shows Martinet as it was before the revolution. At the height of summer, Rue de Saint-Ghislain is teeming with parasol-wielding bourgeoisie, and wild pines flags buttress the walkway. Nothing is written on the back. Interesting. The glass is covered with grime and dust you can barely see out. I guess we just go further down. Theoretically, this should take us to basement level? This collapse nearly sealed the basement. One can barely squeeze by. I assume that's the way back out. Antiquated office furniture, last century perhaps? Brought down and forgotten so long ago. There's an overturned table. It's covered with orange mildew crawling around with something.
Two rusty metal plates that slide apart form a crude door. It's been here under the boardwalk for a while.
Push the doors open. Hey, Kim.
It's much easier from this side. The panels on the rails, once you dust the sand off, with the help of your partner, from the other side, the door opens with a creak.
Huh. I hope no one dangerous heard that.
You ready?
Yes. Time to investigate these passages. Let's move quietly and not make more sound.
Cool. Old file folders in the chart. Documents silvery with mold. A series of thick, dusty panels of glass. In the beam of the flashlight, a crevice in the wall. Good to know. Footprints in the sand. One of the souls appears to be worn more than the other. That would be Ruby. Tunnel collapse. You'll have to find another way around. There's something in the air, an unnatural buzzing. Cool. Apparently there's a box there I missed. I don't know how I missed it. Thought I was right-clicking the whole time.
This isn't just glass. These are old computation components.
These are computer components.
Yes, filament memories. From the time when wires were cast in glass, slides with an inlaid nervous system.
How'd they do that and why?
The how was a closely guarded secret. Something that was locked in safes in human heads across the river where they were manufactured. As to why, your fingers don't know. The why is easy, because they hadn't come up with modern silicon-based systems yet. For vitreous cast filament memories, though, these seem incredibly advanced.
Hey look, Kim. Old cybernetics.
So it is. I think these used to form a single system, slotted in the wall.
So this is all that remains of the Feld R&D.
The rest of the building seems to have been picked clean.
Could this be part of the Feld playback experiment?
These? No. These are old filament memories. I hope you're not expecting to find a device here. You will be disappointed.
All you will find here is pain.
Finish the thought. Got a jacket? Interesting. +1 to Mazovian socioeconomics. Okay. Stale fabric smell and dust. No one slept here in months, maybe years. Okay, good to know. These pots and plates are full of dust and spiderwebs.
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. A plaque reads, K. Mazov. There is a spiderweb in the lower left corner of the portrait.
Brush off the dust off the portrait.
Years' worth of dust is shaken off. The full head of hair, matched by an ample moustache and sideburns, look a bit silly.
It's that Mazov guy. This must have been a hiding place for some naive leftists.
Some radical or radicals were hiding out here. They left a long time ago.
What's all these secret weapon caches and secret bunkers?
We have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends to linger in rundown neighborhoods. Martinez being what it is, no one has gone through the trouble of cleaning out the old bunkers.
How long ago?
Half a century? This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built against the amphibious landing. I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but that's all been looted.
Maybe I should move in here, seems cozy.
I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through with this case.
Can someone have stopped through here recently?
You mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Revolutionary propaganda on the bunk bed, ancient flyers and brochures. And this is the other side of that hole, right? Yep. Okay. See, I think I found that specifically because I had the flashlight equipped too, which is cool. Buzzing sound getting louder.
There it is again, like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp. A strange tingling you can almost smell.
Lieutenant, do you feel something?
No. What do you mean?
A pain, a strange tingling.
I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were fresh.
I saw them too, footprints with the right sole worn smooth.
Looks like our suspect. If she's in here, we need to plan our next step carefully.
What do you mean?
Once we detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild Pines will do? We'll set in motion events we have no control over.
You will upset the balance of power in Martinez. The deadlock between the company and the Union will destabilize. This part of town is a fine clockwork puzzle. Disturb its peace, and it will start breaking down uncontrollably.
Makes sense.
Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
How bad do you think things could get?
Well, we are not responsible for what we can't predict, are we? I don't think the entire city will be razed to the ground.
If you can't predict it, there's nothing you could have done.
Interesting. So the idea being we don't think about it, therefore it's not our responsibility when it happens. What do you think is waiting for us there?
I think I see a cavern. Maybe more cellars? I think we've been careful enough. We still have the element of surprise.
I wouldn't be so sure. You haven't exactly been sneaking.
Or maybe not. Either way, once we go deeper, there will be no turning back.
Concrete pipe buried in dust. Some money. Interesting, this place has been looted, but there was still some money hanging about. Kind of funny.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear a woman's voice. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted
Interesting.
into your head all at once.
An audio weapon.
Her words are the only ones you can make out.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse. Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But here we are.
As she says the word officer, you feel a spike in the agony. It sounds like the entire radio frequency range is screaming directly into your neural pathways. That's an awful decision. Why would you not want to shield yourself from it? It's an entirely new type of experience. Way worse than all the previous ones. Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
Are you gonna kill me too?
No, I'm not going to fucking kill you. If that had been my plan, you'd be dead already. All things considered, I'm being pretty reasonable here. I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been caught in its field.
The explosion of static you're hearing is the ULAN frequency, blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
I saw your equations, it's the ULAN frequency.
Saw my equations? You've been sniffing through my lorry, right? I expected as much. I am a bit surprised you knew what you were looking at.
Is that Chinese?
A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale, literally crunch the distance across it. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds in just a few years.
Sounds like she knew someone who used to man one of those stations. But she won't tell you about her. Boy, you're one empathetic police officer to have guessed even that right now.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. Needless to say, the frequencies used are out of this world. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter.
Interesting.
It's
noise, right?
You about the machine. Keep her talking. Look for an opportunity to break loose.
Have you experienced the compressor yourself?
Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through.
How'd you get your hands on this thing?
I built it myself.
And she's proud of it too. As she ought to be. This is way beyond your abilities.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Way beyond.
That's great and all, but let's talk about the man who you killed.
Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell into my trap instead. That's all there is to say about it.
So she thinks of you as hunters, not cops. And of herself merely as prey.
Just turn it down so I can ask you something.
If you've got something really important to say, you can do it through the white noise.
2, 3, 6, 1, 8, 9, 2, 8, 1.
You're looking for a deal on mattress. Turn this.
God damn it.
Southern sympathy, interesting.
Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
The gun she's carrying is a 2-barreled front loader, not like the murder weapon. Well, it doesn't feel much better, but she can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. There's only 3 meters between you and the machine. If you keep her distracted for long enough, maybe be careful when you make your move. That'll be it for questions. Bide your time.
Did you shoot Lele?
No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching, though I doubt that makes much of a difference to you. Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first.
You're right, Classer was the first to share her suspicions.
Oh. I knew the kitten had claws, but not like this. But she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me?
Your own boys told us we were on the coast. No, Titus told me it took some convincing.
Oh, fuck. Took some convincing my ass. Those guys liked me, I know it. This is what happens to people whom people like.
A dull despair is creeping into her voice.
How the fuck do the rest of you get by?
I do it by asking questions, and I have some for you.
Like what? I already told you I didn't do it.
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
Would you say that Lele was a likable person?
I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types.
Did you feel protective of the Union?
Yeah, sure. And I didn't like Wild Pines sending in those foreign hirelings. Me and a fuck ton of other people around here.
She didn't hate it, okay?
You didn't feel sympathy for mercs? It's hard work.
Plenty of broken people who don't come with that kind of body count. Besides, they're paid well for what they do. I'm listening.
Do you have an alibi for when Lele was shot?
Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that on me.
There were 10 minutes they couldn't account for.
You mean the length of a toilet break? That wouldn't even have been enough time.
"15 minutes was just enough time to commit the murder."
Wow. Now I'm curious. Please, explain.
There's a secret way from the first floor on the whirling to the roof.
Don't know it, but also, the shot couldn't have come from the roof, or we would have all heard it downstairs.
She has a point there. No one mentioned.
That didn't go super well. You've got to lay something better on her.
Running drugs for the Union have been through your lorry.
Heart of Gold Tommy fucked me over too. Never trust a musician.
That really comes as a blow to her.
No, he didn't have ammo in way in.
Okay, great. You got into my lorry on your own. What now? You're going to arrest me for drug trafficking?
Beneath it, she's relieved Tommy didn't betray her.
You had a financial incentive to kill the merc.
No. Gifts of flowers and candy aren't really my style.
Interesting. That's the wrong dialogue. Managed to get away from all that murderous shit that I left Jamrock, my previous employer, for the Union.
She deliberately avoided naming the mob she worked for. You might be able to find this out later.
I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had to do any of the really dirty work myself. This gun has only been used for self-defense against serious scum.
You're threatening us with it right now.
Based on what I've heard about you, you are serious scum.
Do you like to hang out on rooftops?
Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Claudia's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna.
What's so great about her antenna?
It's very powerful. I used it to tune into RCM frequencies. That's how I knew to be prepared for your arrival.
Is that the only reason you hung out on the roof?
The view's pretty bomb, too. But you might say the antenna was the main attraction there, yeah. Along with Claudia.
So you're sure you didn't shoot the Merc from the roof?
Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I said before, the shot had to have come from afar.
Let's take a step back.
Yeah? Where?
More questions before doing anything.
Who killed the Merc if it wasn't you?
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head when I got to him, and there hasn't been any useful gossip over the radio.
Those rings around her eyes, her tired voice. She's been staying up late, listening in on the conversations crisscrossing Martinez.
Police radio? You've been following the case?
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there, in Claus's room, lying on his side. He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for a good long while.
If you didn't kill him, why hide?
I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning by a goddamn La Puta Madre agent.
What do you mean, La Puta Madre?
Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon, his human can opener.
Oh, fucking me.
Fucking hell. And why me? You hear through the white noise. It's especially bad suddenly. Felt like a vein exploded.
Who's everyone? How do you know this?
Everyone in Jamrock. The cops, the criminals. Why do you think I'm holed up in here with a goddamn death ray waiting for you?
If she knows that about you, she must know your real name too.
Tell me, what's my name? If you know what about me, you must know my name.
Harry Dubois. One corrupt motherfucker with a disco pants and a funny tie. Agent to La Puta Madre.
So she knows your name. That doesn't mean you're on the tape. Criminals make up bogeyman stories about cops all the time. All of this just means that you're effective. Criminals know you and are scared of you.
La Puta Madre? I've heard of La Puta Madre. He's dangerous, right?
Is that a joke or a threat? I'm guessing both.
No, it was a real question.
Yeah, sure.
She doesn't believe you.
I'm sure La Puta Madre himself will explain it all to you soon enough.
What did you do to this Madre anyway?
You've been to my lorry. You think the biggest player in Jamrock appreciates competition? And now I have Harry Can Opener in my lair. Fucking Titus.
She's not going to change her mind that easily. She still perceives you as a threat. Wait, one thing, possibly small, but she said you rolled into town. Was that you singular or plural? She might know something.
When I came into town, was there anyone with me?
Yeah, you had your death squad with you. What happened to them anyway?
Who's on this squad?
Well, it wasn't this scrawny dude. You had two guys and a lady. The guys looked pretty buff. Lady wasn't bad either.
What else can you tell me?
One of the guys seemed chipper, a blonde. The other had a brooding something or other about him. And the woman was the only one in uniform. All were carrying. That sound about right?
No idea who these people are. Literally. Satellite Officer Whitmer looks out of the window grimly, then puts his coffee down and turns to Patrol Officer Miller. We can either take a room here in the whirling or go home for today. Let's go home, Jean. Nothing's going to happen today, she responds quietly. Jean takes his blonde wig off. Call Heidelstein. He can give us a ride.
I think I know them. They're in Martinez.
Friction, lock, set.
Fantastic. I've got to get on the road. Then you can go find your friends. Unless you have anything pressing to ask me.
What happened Sunday night? Tell me your version.
She eyes you warily, as though gauging your sincerity.
It's okay. We just want to...
Alright, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with Hardy and the boys over a few beers, like always. Then Klasha comes in, all pale and shuddering. She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her.
Did she also seem high to you?
Oh yeah, super. But I didn't think too much of it at first. I'd seen her party hard before.
Classa said you knew something was wrong immediately.
No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. I just assumed she'd done too much blow. It wouldn't be a first for her. But no such luck. She was in some deep shit. She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor, dead. I knew she couldn't get the authorities involved, so yeah.
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
How'd you manage to come up with a plan so quickly?
What? No. Faking a lynching was her idea.
Her idea?
Yeah, in cold blood. It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of herself once we got up there. It was like she was another person. The party girl was gone. She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck to fake lividity. Then she dressed him while I went to get the Hardy boys.
That's bad. That she'd be so calm.
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether to admire her or be disturbed.
You think she killed Lelia herself?
As I keep telling you cops, we didn't hear anything downstairs.
I know, I knew that
No
as well,
gunshot,
but...
nothing.
But even if this is true, weren't you worried this lynching might lead to...
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenary's death was going to have repercussions either way. Although the way things are going...
She doesn't want to talk about this, but not because she has something to hide. She doesn't want the guilt.
Fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me.
How'd you know we were coming? I already know this, but I'm going to ask her anyway. Actually, no. Do you know about the bunker next door?
What bunker?
The communist hideout back there.
Don't know anything about it. No one's been around since I set up camp. But I'm sure I'm not the first vagabond
How'd you know we were coming?
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while.
By hiding bullets under floorboards?
So you found my shack, huh? I'm not surprised.
Her tone is bitter. She thinks she's been betrayed.
She didn't rat you out, by the way. Isabel, the washerwoman.
So nice. That's one knife I didn't want to find in my back.
As opposed to the other knives she's finding there now. Hardy for one.
You don't need that.
Not anymore, no. This could have turned out pretty bad for me if you hadn't walked right into 25 bands of ultra-high frequencies.
That's her admitting the bullet was an emergency exit.
I mean, I believe that she didn't do it. Just go.
Glad to have been of assistance. Best of luck to you, officers. Revishal's a bitch.
The woman runs past you and disappears into the darkness of the tunnel.
All things considered, it could have gone worse.
What now?
Now we have to come up with a really good excuse for why we walked right into a trap like that. This isn't going to look good in the report.
Yeah?
Her tent. Maybe there's something in there.
I tend to agree. What's this? Dark water trails into the distance. There's no way out. Oy, oy, oy. Cooking utensils. She has prepared herself porridge with bananas. $8. And a tent.
The plain red tent stands by dispassionately.
Look inside.
The tent looks old, but well maintained. In the darkness of the tent, a rolled-up sleeping bag, cooking utensils, some books, and a kerosene lamp. It reeks of cigarettes.
Shine your flashlight on the books.
Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines.
See anything?
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine, it's a leather notebook.
Useful.
You pocket the worn brown leather journal. A trusted friend left behind.
We should read this immediately, like right now.
I agree. A well-worn journal with a brown leather cover and the brand name Schneller embossed on the back. It seems to have served as a loyal friend to a lonely traveler.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket.
Examine the cover.
It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name, Schneller. Schneller is a stationery brand from Gottwald, beloved among architects and engineers.
Good to know.
She's got good taste and must have taken whatever she recorded here seriously.
Unwind the strap.
The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled.
Study the handwriting.
The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and confidently, perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out.
Fair enough.
With tiny corrections scrawled above and in the margins.
Flip through the pages.
It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
It's good she left in a hurry. We could learn a lot from this.
Anything about La Puta Madre?
That name isn't mentioned as far as you can tell. Small wonder. Would you talk about La Puta Madre in your journal? You do see an M, though. La Puta Madre. M is mentioned on March 9th and March 15th.
Read the entry from March 9th first.
Great. M's peon is coming to town, no doubt to investigate the lynching. But also, I feel it in my gut to finally put a bullet in my head while I'm napping in my lorry or on a smoke break. Well, I won't stick around just to twist my own neck by constantly looking over my shoulder. Then again, isn't that what I've been doing ever since I got the call? Were you supposed to find her, even apart from the investigation then? On M's request? No, you wouldn't do something like this. This must be a mistake.
This is coincidence. I would never kill people for a mob boss.
The thought steadies your nerves. The journal stops shaking in your hand.
March 12th.
Been holed up here for 3 days now. I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. They will rat me out, of course. I've made it a point to believe in the best in people, the boys, for example. But experience tells me, did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people, they'd take measures to protect themselves. Even I know that. Economic measures, first of all. Gotta make a living, right? I can still hear his voice in the receiver. Taste the plastic. The entry ends abruptly.
How far back do the entries go?
The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable.
What kinds of logistics?
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
For drug dealing.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give this to her after we finish this.
What are the diagrams of? Probably the emitter, I imagine.
Esoteric radio technology.
Yep.
The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape.
Anything personal?
Short, wry observations of people and places. Probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts To sort through some difficult decisions, there are a few passages with many questions in them.
What did she write the day Lele died?
Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. But that's another matter entirely. She is referring to betraying her previous employer. Does this suggest she did it in self-defense?
What's the most recent entry?
The most recent entry is from today. It reads, "Even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning."
It looks like she might have been framed.
That would be a first, or a fourth. But who's counting, he thinks. Very rarely does anyone actually get framed.
Am I really a Luputa Madre agent?
No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be sure.
He truly does not believe you are. Perhaps he shouldn't be so trusting.
If she didn't do it, then maybe it's good that we didn't catch her.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that. We have other reasons to arrest her.
Sure.
Besides, I'm not sure her life as a fugitive is going to be much better than we does. Especially if she has problems with the Madre.
And do you think... then who do you think killed the merc?
Could have been Titus. Then again...
But no one heard the shot.
Maybe there's a Hardy boy we've yet to meet, who acted as his accomplice. Either way, we need to keep an eye on him.
I think it was Titus.
One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling and rags. Questions to ask. We should get to it.
We should indeed. We should indeed. Interesting. Well, that was a insanely long episode. It's now nearly 11 at night, too. So I guess I can go back and sleep, if nothing else. Let's see if the Hardy boys are there, and if not, we can talk to them tomorrow. Huh. As I said, that was a long-ass episode, but, you know, I'm fine with that. Can I leave this way? I should be out here, right? Rather than trying to climb down that ladder again. Seems like a dumb idea. That's going to be it for this episode, obviously, because insanely long. But if you like the video, please leave a like. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And as always, thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time. The reason I didn't destroy that the radio emitter, by the way, was simply because I was scared, because I only had 1 health. I was scared that if I tried to do it and I failed, it would hurt me, and then I would die. And I didn't particularly want to go through all of that again. Nevertheless... wait. Why can't I fast travel? Interesting. Interesting, it doesn't let me fast travel. Whatever, I guess I'll just walk my way back there. Anyway, as I said, that's going to be it. I will see you next time, guys.